Marriage. Marriage is what brings us together today. Marriage. That blessed arrangement that dreams within the dream. Welcome all guests. I'd just like to remind you that this is an unplugged ceremony. Please turn off your phones, no pictures, we got photographers for that, and we'll be good with that. So, friends and family, welcome and thank you for being here on this important day as Alex and Pat make the decision to journey forward in their lives as married partners. I'd like to open with a story of love and science. In the late 70s, two scientists, Andrew and... Oh, sorry, I went on too far. Friends and family, welcome and thank you for being here on this important day as Alex and Pat make the decision to journey forward in their lives as married partners. I'd like to open with a story of love and science. In the late 70s, two scientists, Andrew and Carl Sagan, were collaborating on a now famous golden records that would go out on the Voyager probes and carry the story of life on Earth to the far reaches of space. Over the course of this project, Carl and Anne fell in love and were engaged. Anne was then inspired to record the impulses of her brain as she meditated on the wonder of love, of being in love, and included this in those golden records. They were happily married for the rest of his life, and even now, the Voyager probes are still carrying that message, devotion, and adoration to the great wide open sea of interstellar space. Today, everyone here is a golden record for Alice and Pat. We'll carry a piece of this experience for them, and who knows how far that echo of love may travel. So today, we witness and celebrate love, commitment, friendship, family, and two people who are in it forever. Now, you don't have to have a ceremony to have a marriage. And when you think about it, the whole thing is kind of weird, right? You're just standing there, looking fancy, holding flowers, and being stared at by pretty much everyone who has meant anything to you in your life. So why do we do it? The marriage ceremony has been an important feature across nearly every culture, religion, generation, and society. We have thousands of important moments that happen throughout our lives, but this one is regarded as so critical. We acknowledge its special status by sharing it with others. Why this moment? Because despite all of our differences, love is what we all share. It's the great unifier, our one universal truth, that no matter who we are, where we've come from, and what we believe, we know this one thing: love is what we're doing right. That's why you both are standing here. That's why you all are here to watch, then stand up here. We all have loved in our lifetimes. And in this moment, we're reminded that the ability to love is the very best part of our humanity. Now, Kelly Knoll, the groom's sister and member of the bride brigade, has a quick reading about the meaning of marriage.
From their beginning to their most recent age, the annals of human history reveal the transcendent importance of marriage. The lifelong union always has promised nobility and dignity to all persons, without regard to their station in life. Its dynamics allows two people to find a life that could not be found alone, for a marriage becomes greater than just the two persons. Rising from the most basic human needs, marriage is essential to our most profound hopes and aspirations. The centrality of marriage to the human condition makes it unsurprising that the institution has existed for millennia and across civilizations. Since the dawn of history, marriage has transformed strangers into relatives, binding families and societies together. No union is more profound than marriage, for it embodies the highest ideals of love, fidelity, devotion, sacrifice, and family. In forming a marital union, two people become something greater than once they were. Marriage embodies a love that may endure even past death. Justice Anthony.
There are four conventionally accepted fundamental forces of physics binding matter together: gravity, electromagnetism, strong nuclear interaction, and we nuclear interaction. But there is one conventionally accepted force that binds humans together: love. Love can fit in the smallest spaces and yet have a profound effect over great distances. Love defies time, outliving both its source and object. Love is faster than light, for light requires time to travel through space, but love reaches its object instantaneously. Love journeys forever into infinity, and it is here today binding together two loves. All of us here today have our own love stories. Some are short, some are long, some are yet unwritten, while others are still just getting started. There are chapters in all of our stories that are sad or disappointing, and others that are exciting and full of adventure. We're all here with you to support you, to be proud of you, and to remind you that love isn't happily ever after. Love is the experience of writing your story. It's not one moment, not even this moment. It's every moment. Big ones, like saying I love you, moving in together, getting engaged, but mostly a million little ones that come in between the big moments. Falling asleep next to one another, making dinner, spending the holidays with your families, binge watching the shows with your laps full of dogs, getting a big hug when you get home from work. These everyday moments fuse together into one big experience. And even though this experience is so incredible, words fail us when we try to explain it. That's just the way it is with love. It's meant to be felt, not described. But trying to describe love is one of our favorite pastimes. We use the words we have to write the stories, and poems and songs about love. And even though we describe love in different ways, and even though love can look different from one person to the next, we all know it when we see it. And when we see it here today. So today, we have some words about what love is, coming from some of the people who love you the most. Next was Stu.
This is for you, for both of you. A small poem of happiness filled with small glories and little triumphs. A fragile, short, cheerful song filled with hope and all sorts of futures. Because at weddings we imagine the future, because it's all about what happened next. All the work and negotiation and building and talk that makes even the tiniest happily ever after something to be proud of for a we forever. This is a small thought for both of you, like a feather or a prayer. A wish of trust and love and hope, and fine break hearts and truth. Like a tower or a house made all of bones and dreams, and tomorrows and tomorrows and tomorrows. You gave me.
Thank you, Stu. Next, we have Stacy.
Love is the great intangible, frantic and serene, vigilant and calm, wrung out and fortified, explosive and sedate. Love commands a vast army of moods. What a small word we use for an idea so immense and powerful. It has altered the flow of history, calmed monsters, kindled works of art, cheered the forlorn, turned tough guys to mush, consoled the enslaved, driven strong women mad, glorified the humble, fueled national scandals, bankrupt robber barons, and made mincemeat out of kings. How can love's spaciousness be conveyed in the narrow confines of one syllable? If we search for the source of the word, we find history vague and confusing, sketching back to the Sanskrit Vibhati, he desires. I'm sure the etymology rambles back much further than that, to a one-syllable word, heavy as a heartbeat. Love is an ancient delirium, a desire older than civilization, with taproots stretching deep into dark and mysterious days. Common as childbirth, love seems rare nonetheless, always catches one by surprise and cannot be taught. Each child rediscovers it, each couple redefines it, each parent reinvents it. We have the great fortune to live on a planet abounding with humans, plants, and animals, and I often marvel at the strange task evolution sets them. Of all the errands life seems to be running, of all the mysteries that enchants us, love is my favorite. A Natural History of Love by Diane Ackerman.
Thank you. Next, we have Kevin.
A reading from the Book of Solomon. Set me as a seal upon your heart, as a seal upon your arm. For love is strong as death, passion fierce as the grave. Its flashes are flashes of fire, a raging flame. Many waters cannot quench love, neither can floods drown it. If one offered for love all the wealth of one's house, it would be utterly scorned. A letter from St. Paul to the Philippians. Finally, beloved, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is pleasing, whatever is commendable, if there is any excellence, and if there is anything worthy of praise, think about these things.
Thank you. Next, David.
Genuine love is rarely an emotional space where needs are instantly gratified. To know love, we have to invest time and commitment. Dreaming that love will save us, solve all our problems, or provide a steady state of bliss or security only keeps us stuck in wishful fantasy, undermining the real power of the love which is to transform us. Not always.
Thank you. You fell in love by chance, but you're here today because you're making a choice. You both are choosing each other. You've chosen to be with someone who enhances you, who makes you think, makes you smile, and makes every day bright. You're about to make promises to each other that you intend to keep. You're going to vow to take care of each other, to stand up for one another, and find happiness. There's a simple premise to each of these promises. You're vowing to be there. You're teaming up to say to the other, every experience I am going to have, I want you to be a part of. Without reservation and before family and friends, do you, Alex, take Pat to be the spouse and partner from this day forward?
I do.
Without reservation and before family and friends, do you, Pat, take Alex to be the spouse and partner from this day forward? Will you, Alex and Pat, pledge your mutual trust and respect? Will you provide support and encouragement for personal and mutual growth? And grant each other the freedom to change and to nurture and fulfill dreams? Will you, as friends and companions, be open, honest, loyal, and devoted to one another? Share and celebrate in life's joys, brace and shelter each other through its storms, and assist and guide each other in the future path of your joined lives, whether dark or bright? And will you appreciate your differences and enjoy together the traditions you have each inherited?
We will.
Will you commit to create a home filled with love and peace, kindness and compassion, warmth and generosity?
We will.
Strive to be slow to anger and quick to forgiveness?
We will.
And do you, our honored guest, promise to love and support them as a community?
We will.
If so, repeat after me. So say we all. May I have the rings? You have both chosen to wear rings as a reminder of these promises. People often say wedding bands are a perfect circle, with no beginning and no end. But these rings did have a beginning. The stones were formed a long time ago, deep within the earth. Eventually, a series of lucky events caused them to rise to the surface, where someone dug them up. Metal was then liquefied in a furnace at thousands of degrees, molded, cooled, and painstakingly polished. Something beautiful was made from raw elements. Love is like that. It comes from humble beginnings and through a combination of serendipity and effort. Imperfect beings shaped into something extraordinary. It's the process of making something beautiful where there was once nothing at all. As you look at these rings over the years, I hope that you remember that you've created something invaluable. And just as I know you'll protect these rings, I'm confident you'll protect the commitments you've made to one another. Please look into Pat's eyes and place the ring on his hand. And repeat after me. With this ring, I be wed.
With this ring, I be wed.
Blessings of the hand, author unknown. Now, Pat, place the ring on Alex's hand and look into her eyes. And repeat after me. With this ring, I be wed.
With this ring, I be wed.
Now, before we conclude, Alex and Pat would like to join hands in the bonds of matrimony and tie the knot. The binding together of hands is one of the oldest matrimonial traditions and can be found in cultures from the ancient Assyrians to the medieval Celts and to modern neo-pagans. In the late Middle Ages in Ireland and the rest of the British Isles, hand-fasting ceremonies were performed as both intimate marriage with consent and formal community betrothals to physically represent the lifelong pledge and intertwining of two lives. As a nod to this tradition, Alex and Pat have chosen to have a simple blessing of hands. Please face each other and take each other's hands so that you may see the gift that they are to you. These are the hands of your best friend, young and strong and full of love for you, that are holding yours on your wedding day. As you promise to love each other today, tomorrow, and forever. These are the hands that will work alongside yours, as together you build your future. These are the hands that will love you and cherish you through the years, and with the slightest touch, will comfort you like no other. These are the hands that will hold you when fear or grief fills your mind. These are the hands that will countless times wipe the tears from your eyes, tears of sorrow and tears of joy. These are the hands that will tenderly hold your children. These are the hands that will help you to hold your family as one. These are the hands that will give you strength when you need it. And lastly, these are the hands that even when wrinkled in age will be reaching for yours, still giving you the same unspoken tenderness with just a touch. And so a binding is made. And I now pronounce you husband and wife. And in the immortal words of the Princess Bride, since the invention of the kiss, there have only been 5 kisses that were rated the most passionate, the most pure. This one will leave them all behind.
I love you.
I know.
My friends, make it so. Stand and welcome into our extended family, Mr. and Mrs. Dees. I now invite you all for the reception for hors d'oeuvres and libations.